Okay, so rookie Jaylx Hunt continues to impress, although he got bullied by Lane Johnson. Plus, even in a so-called down year, Jalen Hurts makes it inside the top 20 on the NFL top 100 list, but the guy he's in front of has people in their feelings. We also talk about one new defensive player that's going overlooked and how the Giants leaked a video of them low-key downplaying our draft. But first, we get to see the actual clip, A.J. Brown versus Quinyon Mitchell. This is the rep where A.J. Brown catches the ball one hand, but Quinyon Mitchell is right there and pushes him out of bounds, so it's incomplete. Let's look at it in slow motion. So A.J. fakes inside, goes outside, some hand contact from both of them. The ball's placed only where A.J. could get it, but he steps out. Good rep by Quinyon. What is going on, everybody? I go by Philly Mike, and this is the Philly Tall Podcast. Be sure to hit that like button if you rock with the content. Subscribe, and turn on that notification bell so you don't miss the videos. So no practice for the Eagles. They have a closed session walkthrough before the epic, and I repeat, epic live practice tomorrow, August 1st at 8 p.m. at the one and only Lincoln Financial Field, where I know some Eagle players, especially the new ones trying to cement themselves on this roster, will take this practice like a game. To mention one, Isaiah Rodgers is for sure ready.
I've been seeing the videos, and it's kind of like it take me back to the Smitty softball game. I saw videos, and I was like, oh, okay, it's lit. And then when I got there, I'm like, damn, it's lit. So I think just seeing the videos now, I kind of understand what people mean when they say it's like a game, because it's literally sold out. But I think I'm ready for it. I think I'm ready for the atmosphere and just to hear the fans and, engage with that, environment. So I'm definitely ready for that. That'll be like my first time running out the tunnel at the Link, but it's definitely going to all feel real then.
That's when you're going to get your first pick, right?
I don't know. It might be Monday. It might be Tuesday.
He said, well, why wait, right? Why wait? Yeah.
No.
Now, Monday and Tuesday already passed, and he had some great PBUs, but no interception. So maybe, like I said, his first pick could come live in front of all the great Eagle fans. But hopefully he's not on Jalen Hurts. Speaking of QB1, the NFL Nerd on Twitter leaked the 2024 NFL Top 100 list, number 20 through 11. As you can see, 20 C.J. Stroud, 19 Raekwon Smith, 18 Justin Jefferson, 17 Micah Parsons, 16 Dak Prescott, 15 Jalen Hurts, 14 George Kittle, 13 CeeDee Lamb, 12 Josh Allen, and 11 Fred Warner. Now remember, the year prior, Jalen Hurts was number 3 on this list, so he did fall back a little. However, to be top 15 voted by your peers, the players who got to go against you, show me how much respect Jalen Hurts has around the league, and that even in a so-called down year, mainly due to the turnovers, Jalen Hurts is still a top 20 player. And we all should be very, very excited, especially with the early reports in training camp. Reuben Frank joined 94 WIP since there were no Eagle practices, and he had this to say. It's probably the best he's looked in his 5 years that he's been here. He hasn't thrown an interception, and none of the regular rotation receivers had a drop yet, so the whole operation looks good, and it's encouraging. Again, last year the Eagles were predictable. Jalen Hurts threw the ball downfield more than any other quarterback in the National Football League. So all teams had to do is sit back in quarters, cover 3, and just watch for the deep ball. And that's not really on Jalen. The play call dictates where you go to your first read and second read. And again, no utilization of the middle of the field. No quick routes, no hot routes, no checkdowns. Not saying never go deep again, but you can't be extreme in any category or you become predictable in the NFL. Just think of it this way. The Eagles were a top 8 offensive team in 2023, running the same predictable plays. The players just executed them. That's why we were able to move the ball. Now, nobody's going to know what we do. Smitty will be moving in motion. Goedert will move in motion. Even AJ and Saquon. Plays will look the same, but be absolutely different. Play action. Correctly utilizing Jalen in the run game. There's a reason every single beat reporter says this offense just looks different, starting with the play calling and then the way Jalen Hurts is completing passes. As for another player who just fell outside the top 20, Eagles wide receiver A.J. Brown, who ranked 21st in the NFL's top 100. We can definitely argue he deserves to be higher, but it is what it is. we not gonna cry as Eagle fans. Moving on to a couple training camp notes I forgot to mention. Jaylx Hunt has been getting some burn, and he's really surprised some people. However, he's still just surprised that he's a Philadelphia Eagle.
This is dope. This is cool. Everybody around, you always see pictures like this, but really just embracing it. The reason why it took me a little minute to get over here is just because I had my first padded practice with the Eagles, and the Eagle kind of just letting it sink in, so I wanted to sit back and just see everything. But on top of that, just like the attention to detail, I feel like I made a huge step today, just learning how to play at this level. It's my first time actually seeing everybody moving pads, seeing everybody move, learning the scheme and how I work within it. It was just a dope experience.
As for something he's been working on and getting better at since the start of training camp,
hands. I gotta use my hands. I used to be a little bit of a head hunter, just going in with my head, going in with my pads is how I learned to play football. That's why I'm physical. But if I want to have a long career, I'm learning that if I'm watching the people I would like to pattern my game after, and if I want to be in the league as long as BG's a genius with using his hands. So that's something I'm really putting a lot of time and extra work into.
Which is something we all talked about. The film showed he had talent, was strong, athletic. He was just very raw. But his moves at the Senior Bowl really won over Fangio, as he named him one of his favorite players in this draft, which I won't take lightly. As for him already getting a welcome to the NFL moment on his first padded practice, he got bullied by Lane Johnson.
Oh yeah. Lane strapped me up today. A little hit throw by. Was not expecting it. I should have known. I thought I beat Lane on the outside. Did not beat Lane at all. But yeah, that was just one of the moments for sure.
And on the flip side,
I like how he said he thought he could beat Lane Johnson with a speed move, but then realized quickly he couldn't. I just think this kid is going to grow into something special with the Eagles. As for the tight end room, Reuben Frank said we're only a few days into camp, but Grant Calcaterra has already gapped the field of CJ Uzomah, Albert O, and EJ Jenkins for the number 2 tight end spot behind Dallas Goedert. Interesting. I've always liked Grant Calcaterra athleticism. I'm just not sure if his body can stand up because injuries have been his problem. Now, switching it over to the linebacker position, we continue to talk about Nakobe Dean, Zach Bond, and they both will have an opportunity the rest of this camp and preseason. But right now, the fact of the matter is, Zach Bond is ahead of him. However, I want to talk about Devin White. I've heard beat writers say time and time again how he's flying to the ball, doing this and that. With Saquon Barkley on a wheel route, deflecting it, who we all know is a legit pass catcher at the running back position. We've heard him get sacks, tackle for losses, and just be the constant at the linebacker position for the Eagles. Yet, when I hear Eagle Nation talk about him, I still don't think we're giving him the respect that he deserves throughout this camp thus far. Again, a veteran, a Super Bowl champ, 26 years old. I know in the back of our heads, we're thinking about the down year he had with Tampa Bay. But I'm telling you, this could be probably the best addition on defense. Again, it's hard. C.J. Gardner-Johnson, a guy who's already made plays for the Eagles, and we've been hearing murmurs in camp about his ability to fly around. But when I look at this defense, if we do get the Devin White that I believe, that is going to transform that secondary and pass rush and just really be the glue to hold everything together. And so by the middle of the season, we could be talking about Devin White as the best defensive signing by one Howie Roseman. Not to discredit anybody else. This is just the impact I think he's going to have on this defense that is low-key going overlooked. Moving on to a picture I seen on Twitter. The New York Giants big board leaked on the last episode of Hard Knocks. A lot of Eagle players highlighted in colors. And so at first look, people were tagging me saying, look, the Giants loved all our players. But then somebody reported what each color means. Zach Berman tweeted, based on this, Quinyon Mitchell, Cooper DeJean, Anaya Smith, Dylan McMahon carried medical red flags for the Giants, and Will Shipley, Trevor Keegan had measurement/size concerns for the Giants. So the 6 draftees that Eagle fans thought the Giants wanted were really 6 guys they were concerned about. So that to me is like the Giants saying they're not sure that they would have even wanted them, which means I can't wait until they go out and ball and we can rub it in the Giants fans twice a year, plus all season long, because we're going to be doing big things, and they absolutely won't be. Some other Eagle notes, which I know this one is going to upset some of y'all for me still talking about it, but Philadelphia Eagles Central tweeted, the Eagles were named as the team that makes too much sense to land free agent safety Justin Simmons, according to NFL.com. They continue to say, I kept returning to it, making too much sense for the Pro Bowl safety to reunite with Vic Fangio in Philadelphia. It seems like an all too familiar move for GM Howie Roseman to scoop up an undervalued asset. And if he was going to do it, August is the month where he gets that last finishing touch to the defense to help us make the push to go to the Super Bowl. And I didn't even know this, but I went back and looked at the NFL Top 100 list from 100 all the way down to 11, and Justin Simmons made the list. He was number 55. So there's literally a safety sitting at home that can sign with any NFL team. That was the 55th best player overall when you look at all the positions in 2023, voted once again by the players. That is crazy to me. And once again, I'm not going to continue to talk about it, but if the NFL.com puts out an article about it, I might have to let y'all know. As for Fangio, Reuben Frank says he reminds him of Jim Johnson. Huh? Fangio reminds me so much of Jim Johnson. The two coaching legends never worked together, but they both started their pro coaching career in the USFL. They both spent 1986 through 2008 as NFL defensive coaches. They both worked with John Harbaugh, and they both arrived in Philly late in their career. Fangio has the same no-nonsense, no BS attitude that Johnson had, just like Jim. He doesn't suffer fools. He's not afraid to answer a question about a player honestly, and he won't hesitate to correct a media member that asks a stupid question. It's refreshing being around a coach who isn't afraid to tell the truth. In those aspects, he is, for sure. I thought he meant by blitzing, because we all know how Jim Johnson's blitzes was. But I do think Fangio will have some slick packages, especially with a guy I talked about in this video who has been under-talked about this offseason, Devin White. I could see him having 6-7 sacks on the season at the linebacker position. Last but not least, Kay Adams talked to Dallas Goedert yesterday, and she thinks that Kellen Moore is going to get him involved a lot. Listen.
Tight end friendly, question mark, is he? And then I looked, Dalton Schultz, second most targeted weapon on that offense under Kellen Moore. You guys have said that you watched that tape, that you guys are studying some of that. What's your relationship like with your OC?
He's been awesome. You know, I've been able to spend time, get to know him a little bit. And like you said, we get to watch the old Dallas clips, the Chargers clips when he was there. And, you know, same thing. It's like when I see Saquon, when I see those clips, I just smile because, you know, Dalton Schultz did do a great job of getting the ball, turning upfield, making people miss. In the red zone, he likes to use the tight end. So all those are really exciting for me. You know, getting more touches, getting the red zone touches, things like that. It just kind of brings a new excitement into the building for the offense, and I think it's going to be really good.
Hey, we've been talking about it since Kellen Moore came. The utilization of the middle of the field and the fact that he's tight end friendly will bode well for Dallas Goedert. The motion will bode well for a lot of people, but probably more Devontae Smith. He banged the table for Saquon Barkley. So again, so many pieces for him to use. I just really don't understand how you stop this offense. Once again, last year we ranked 8th. When we did the same play over and over. Well, the skill position got better and the plays are less predictable. Have fun stopping us. Leave a comment in the comment section. Drop the muscle emoji if you got nothing to say. And stay tuned because we're going to be giving a couple jerseys away. Make sure you are around for the jersey giveaway. Probably a Saquon and probably a Isaiah Rodgers. We also might have to do Quinyon Mitchell. I know y'all been looking at that picture while we've been doing this video. He's a dog. Until next time, you know what time it is. We out.